So I am sitting here with Betty and Siona, two of the three sisters of Fo Sho, an incredible Ukrainian, Jewish, Ethiopian hip-hop group, which is so rare, and I feel very honored to be sitting here with the two of you. But can you both start by telling me about the founding of your group? Because I know you had other jobs before this, right?
Yeah. Siona was like, we have a huge gap, and Siona was in school while I was in university, and we always had, like, we never could even take a selfie together because she was shorty and I was tall, and different ages, yeah. So at some point we understood that we actually are the same height and the pictures looked good and we look like a band. and before that we met, like, I met our manager, and I like Ian, and the way we met was incredible. It was on Eurovision. I was singing backup for one Ukrainian superstar, and then I met her in the corridor, and I was like, I was singing Rihanna's song, and she just started singing with me, and that's how we mingled, yeah. And then I also, like, I prepared some songs before. I always had a vision that I just have to write. I have potential to write. I have to write.
She's a good songwriter, and I remember when Betty wrote a song called Extra, as you know, and she just showed me and said that I want this song, I want to sing the song together with you, and I was like, what? Because this song just incredible, and I was like, yes, of course.
Will you sing that with me, please?
Yes.
Like, of course, I want to share with
you.
Do you really want to share it with us? Yes.
Oh my
with
God.
pleasure.
And now you know, for sure, we are for sure.
Yeah.
And everything worked out. We found everything. We found a great director. We had a great set, and everything was just with the flow.
Fantastic. I know that your parents immigrated to Ukraine from Ethiopia. Did they get you into music, or how did you start doing music? Why are you musical?
Great question. Our parents came to Soviet Union in 1986, and they came to study medicine. You know, in Africa, you're respected if you have, like, if you're a lawyer or a doctor, and as a musician, they look at you like, okay, musician, okay, no problem, you know.
Always.
Yeah, especially African parents. Yeah. And they said, my dad asked me when I was 6 years old, what are you going to be in the future? And I said, well, I will be a singer, and I'll have a lot of, like, big crowds and festivals. And he said, okay, but what are you going to be?
Yeah.
I said, and I also want to be like you. You're my hero. I want to be a doctor too and help children. He was like, okay, catch you. He caught me.
Good job,
yeah, good job.
Yes.
And we actually met too. And for Siona, she I was like asking you, Siona, what do you want? What would you like to do? I said, my dream was to be a journalist. She said, yeah, it's also interesting for me. And we went, first she got her education in music. She's a piano player.
Oh, nice. Okay.
She plays Chopin, Tchaikovsky, like she's incredible. Yeah, and she finished the School of Arts.
Yeah, that's all about it.
And she was dancing Latino. Yeah.
Oh, you were a dancer too.
Yeah.
Fast.
Wow. Do you dance on stage too, or?
Of course,
Yeah.
Having fun. Yeah.
So yeah.
And then she became a journalist. No, she's becoming a journalist right now. She's online studies.
My university. Yeah.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
So pre-Russian invasion into Ukraine, what were you doing to kind of build up your brand and your music scene?
The best thing the way musicians can represent themselves is by their art, and so we were presenting songs, releasing the tracks, videos, going to festivals in Ukraine. We attend biggest festivals in Ukraine, like Atlas Weekend. It's huge, and we performed also in Waves Vienna before the war, Reeperbahn Festival in Hamburg. And we were also collaborating with other stars. We made some videos in crazy locations. Like we have some superstars, the Ukrainian superstars that directed our videos. We're doing some artistic stuff.
Yeah.
We were basically telling people that we are Ethiopian Jewish girls from Ukraine, and we wanted to represent Ukraine in Eurovision. That's how we went to the Eurovision Song Contest.
Yeah.
And that helped us a lot to build our page and stuff.
That makes sense. And talking about Eurovision, so I know you've said in interviews before, you know, it's been hard for you guys because there was some backlash when you were selected to represent Ukraine in these Eurovision qualifiers. Can you tell me a little bit more about that and what it was like to experience that backlash?
So we decided that we were going to represent Ukraine with a song called Black Square. It's a very political, controversial song about Ukrainian Polish artist Malevich, Kazimir Malevich. He's a founder of suprematism. And we decided to put highlight on the fact that he's not what you read in Wikipedia. It says that he's Russian. No, he's actually Ukrainian. That would happen before the war. And we talked about that we don't have, people all over the world have a lot of money for the war, but we don't have money for simple issues like hunger. Hunger still exists in Africa and stuff. Like we were talking about many things, many issues of the world.
Yeah, we have money for the war, but for life it's tight.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right.
So so imagine it's not an easy competition. You know, you're going there, you perform on huge high heels, you rap in English, you do some crazy stuff, lights, everything.
Right.
And you come out and then you go to the journalist, and the journalist look at you and say, so you want to tell us that you are Ukrainians? You want to make us sure that you want to prove that you are Ukrainians?
Yeah, because you're not looking like
Ukrainian. And we're like, oh, what? No, we are not here to prove nothing to no one.
We just have a passport.
Yeah, you go check, and if you want to do. Like, what we were born and raised here.
Right.
Yeah, so we came to represent the art, and this is what we do. We are putting a highlight on Ukrainian artists. We are talking about important issues as we think, because hip hop and R&B, it's about message.
Yeah.
So, and right now the world has, the hip hop industry changed a lot. So we talk about flexing, having fun, blah, 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 but we wanted to be a little bit political.
Yeah.
So we are all about art. And that actually, we looked at it, but at some point we forgot about it. We said, well, let's not focus on the negativity. We will just keep doing our thing, and eventually people will hear us, they will know us. Some people liked us. We think that our listener is a progressive, intelligent person that is trying to hear other opinions, because we are minority in Ukraine. So yeah, we were slowly finding our listener in Ukraine and abroad.
How has that changed for you now after the war? What's kind of your brand become, or how are your professional ambitions changed?
First of all, we acknowledge that being popular, like, it's actually a big responsibility. Yeah, thank you. It's a big responsibility because during the war, you don't want to post nothing about fun and stuff. Like you're actually in the war, and everybody became an activist, especially us, and people were looking up to us, and like. Some people, at some point, I'm always positive and optimistic. Siona is also. We're trying to charge people with some good vibes. And everything's gonna be alright. If you check, I have my highlights on my Instagram. On the first day of the war, I was going around Kyiv and guys, everything's gonna be alright. God is with us. The truth is with us, so we'll be alright.
Yeah.
And some people wrote me that it saved me. Like,
Wow.
yeah. And then we became an activist. We were posting a lot of. Because we had to fight propaganda, and if you have some people behind you that watching you, you can spread the truth. So we used our IG to spread the news and spread the truth, and also we worked in evacuation team with the Ukrainian army, and we were connecting people to find the right buses that will evacuate them to their safest places, and we did that a lot. We don't even remember how many people we helped to get out of the Ukraine, and and also we were raising money.
And we performed in Amsterdam and we gathered the money, a lot of money,
for Ahmadiyyat,
yeah,
Kiev's
yeah.
Children's Hospital.
And we wrote a song called
Ukraine Now.
Yeah.
And even right now we're raising money. If you check our video on our YouTube, you will see the credits. Like we're gathering the money and sending them particularly to people that we know that will use it for, and they sending us proof that they worked and blah blah blah, and they send it to people.
Yeah, so our band become multifunctional.
Yeah, like we're not only musicians. First of all, we're human beings, and secondly, we are some known people, and that's it. But
Absolutely.
yeah.
So speaking of misconceptions, how would you both address misconceptions that people from outside of Ukraine have about Ukrainians? What are they, and how could you speak to them?
In our opinion, there are two major directions, like Western world and Russian world, we will say, and Belarusian will say that Eastern world. So I think Western world doesn't know how progressive Ukraine is, and how many bright minds are in Ukraine and talented people are. Maybe they know, but we think there are even more that you don't know, guys. So you can find good professionals there. And also, if you check Silicon Valley, if you check designers, photographers, there are a lot of well-known, and even us, we didn't know that they're Ukrainian. So we are slowly finding it out. About the Russian side, and it's something else. Like I don't know where to start there. They are saying that Ukraine was built, that Ukraine is part of Russia, and in the historical way, which is total bullshit, because Kiev was there when Moscow was not even a village, and everybody knows it. You can fact check me. And also Kharkiv was before Kiev, so like it's a big thing. So yeah, and other things, I don't know where to start with the Putin. It's a lot. It's a lot, but there's a lot. So you can check all our highlights, and you will see we did it in Russian, English, and Ukrainian. We are actually Russian speaking Ukrainians from eastern part of Ukraine. We were born and raised in Kharkiv, which is like 38 kilometers away from the border with Russia. Wow. So when Putin is saying that he came to liberate Russian speaking people from Kharkiv, Mariupol, and it's a lie, he's actually destroying us, and we are suffering. So yeah, that's one of the biggest propaganda we know. It's actually fact that we know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've experienced it
we
firsthand.
experienced it, yeah. So like, that's something that we can say for sure.
Right.
Yeah, for
Fo
sure.
Sho.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another misconception, speaking of these, that I read about is that, in the music industry, people say that Ukrainian is one of the hardest languages to rap in, and they don't think it's compatible with hip hop or with rap. But you have released at least two singles in Ukrainian. What was the decision like there, and how do you speak to the haters who say you can't really do this?
Yeah, it's actually true, because there are not a lot of hip hop was not a super big thing in Ukraine for a long time. Yeah. So in 2019, that's when the boom happened. Us, Alona, and some other people, they understood that that field is not used, and there is a challenge and there is a way to use that. So we accepted the challenge, and we said, okay, let's try to do it in Ukrainian. We're still trying to and fit in, and because we also think and speak in Russian. Right. But we are changing to Ukrainian right now rapidly, because it's a must. And also because we want to try to fit in Ukrainian language in a better way, and we can do it. We believe so. Yeah.
I also read in an interview that I thought was fascinating with the two of you that one of the biggest challenges for being an artist in the Ukraine was some of their copyright laws, and making money and making your music be profitable. Yeah. Can you tell me a little about that and the challenges you face when trying to monetize your work?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not easy.
Yeah.
Because honestly, in Ukraine we were using pirating for music for a long time. Honestly, I don't know why. And as soon as I could, I switched. And we are also telling people that actually it's work, and the work has to be paid, and everyone who created it has to be well paid. So yeah, in that case, like Ukraine is hardly working right now. It was working before the war in getting the rights. Like they have some special equipment that they are putting in every restaurant in order to know how many times the song was played and calculated and money. Yeah,
Okay.
we're still developing. We have to learn from the Western world, honestly, and that's a fact. But we are better than we used to. We are in a better place right now.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. And speaking of the Western world, how are you working to spread your music outside and to the Western world outside of Europe? Has that been challenging for you?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the reason why a lot of Ukrainian artists before the war were going to Russia, because the biggest record labels are in Moscow.
Right.
That's the closest place. And otherwise, you go to Berlin or some other place like France. But in order to be signed there, you have to be a citizen of European Union, and that's another challenge. So easier would be to go to Moscow. So after annexation of Crimea, Donbass, Lugansk, 2014, a lot of Ukrainian artists used to go there just in order to make it, just to because like you can have a diamond song like best hit, but if you don't have proper like putting the product in the front, yeah, so that people will take it, it will just be somewhere hidden. But YouTube also helps you to do that, but still it's better to have some, I don't know, in my opinion it's better to have a record label and people that will help you to spread it.
Right.
Yeah, so it was a challenge. It was a challenge for us.
And we had a lot of offers to perform in Russia.
Yeah.
But we couldn't.
Yeah,
We
we
just
had a personal block inside, and because we were like, and also there was a law, if you go to Crimea after 2014, you will be in prison or you'll have some issues with the government. And we said we don't want troubles, and we don't feel like going to Russia. We had a contract from Warner Music Russia. We actually released one track with one Ukrainian artist in Warner Music Russia. It's called Black Water. But still, we couldn't go there, and we didn't make any contract with them. So, well, we were just doing what we can, applying for the festivals that we can in Europe, and those who picked us, like Waves Vienna, Reeperbahn Festival, and others, we attend there. There were other festivals like Afropunk in Paris, in France. We still want to attend, but maybe this year it will be, maybe next year it will be more possible, because I think Europeans are more open right now to Ukrainian artists and into Ukrainians in general, and because of the situation also, the war factor. And yeah, and we are still looking forward. Maybe we'll have some record labels someday, or maybe a team that will help us to. We don't know. We are waiting for someone who will help us, because a lot of people told us that your music is great, it's unique, incredible. It should be in the supermarkets. Yeah, we would like to do that.
Yeah.
We would like to have that. Yeah, why not? Of course, yes.
Right.
We are praying for that to happen.
Well, good on you both for sticking to your convictions, because that is important above all, and I really hope that it does happen and you will be in the supermarkets, not only in Europe but in the US. I'm going to cross my fingers for you both.
And you as such inspiration for us. You can hear it in our music. Like, we always were fans of Tupac, B.I.G., Destiny's Child, and so many great people.
Amazing. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
Truly.